Hey YouTube, it's Mike Peng Gangster, and today we're going to be talking about what is the most overpowered tactic to be using in any formation pretty much, or any custom tactics that you're using. As you can see, I've played my weekend league qualifiers. I've actually ended up going 8-2. The reason why I'm showing you this, because this is extremely important to understand this part of the video, because I was struggling to get to Division 5, okay, if you guys watched my previous video. Going into weekend league qualifiers, let me tell you, I had an anxiety that I've never had playing this game. So I ended up like looking up certain things because I had no confidence whatsoever going into qualifiers. No confidence, especially with the way I was playing. I ended up looking up tactics. I ended up seeing this particular thing that people were talking about, that if you have your depth at 72 or 71 plus, your team starts pressing for you. Okay, so I could confirm that this is actually working exactly how these people are talking about it, and it's actually extremely overpowered. And I'm going to make you understand why in this video that these tactics are very, very important for you to be using them right now and getting used to them, because until they patch this is the meta. This is the way to get more wins. So for example, if you saw my division rivals, you saw that I was, like I said, struggling to get to Division 5. Eventually, I ended up getting there, but I ended up playing 90 games to get there. Also, what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you my team. So my old team is untradeable, except for my Gianfranco Zola, okay? Which I ended up buying for 295K. And he is going for a little over or around 400,000 coins as we talk right now, okay? So I ended up making a nice little investment there. What I did is I ended up taking everything that I had that was sellable, sold it, and I had about 300K. So I figured, let me go get an icon. Let me go spend all my money on one particular icon and see if that will work. Now, I did have a little bit extra money, and I also ended up getting some decent pulls in my qualifiers after. I ended up getting... who did I got? I got Saliba. Anyway, I ended up making like another 90,000 coins there. So that's nice. But the whole point was I ended up like putting my money on one player, and I ended up working in my favor. So the rest of the team is all untradeable, of course. For people that are wondering, the expensive players, of course, is like Chiesa, where he's like 50K, and Varane, which is like 100K, right? Other than that, the other players are very, very cheap. I don't have any expensive players here. But whatever. Okay, anyways, the point of the video is not my players. The point of the video is, the reason why I'm saying this is because I know a lot of people always wonder, hey, Mike, how come you have an icon already? Guys, for people that follow my channel know that I've always been someone that's good at investing and trading on the market and stuff like that. So it's pretty easy to get like an icon at 300K, especially when you got 4,600 FIFA points and you can open up packs right at the beginning of the first week of FIFA, right? So it's quite obvious how easy it is. Anyways, so let's go into custom tactics. Now, the reason why I believe this, I use two custom tactics, by the way. I use the 4-2-3-1, which is the first one that I always go into a game with. And afterwards, if I either the game is extremely tight or I'm losing by one or whatever the case may be, I automatically go to the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow formation, which I feel is very, very good this year. But I'm going to explain to you two things in these formations that are extremely important. One, of course, is what I was talking about, the depth being at 71 plus. Now, I put it at 72 because the guy that I watched the video from, that I took the tactics from, he had it on 72. But I did modify my tactics to my pleasure of playing the game, because I felt like he was a little bit committing too many players up front. So, for example, you had 7 players in the box. I ended up lowering this all the way to 3 players, and I'll explain to you why I did that. But at first, for people that want to copy these tactics, go ahead. You could put defensive style and balance. Now, what does 72 do? Okay, that's the question. The question is, what does 72 depth do? Well, it basically does like a type of constant pressure. There's always this pressure happening with your players, but they're not going crazy and they're not losing stamina, if that makes any sense. Well, if you would put constant pressure on your defensive style, your players would eventually lose their stamina, they would get tired, and you're pretty much done in the second half, right? Which in this case, when you have 72 Dept, they're doing the constant pressure by themselves, but they're not losing stamina. So this is why I believe it's completely broken. Another thing is, when you do have 72 Dept, I'm telling you guys right now, at the beginning, you ain't gonna be that used to it because of the fact that you're not used to, if you're someone that's not used to like pressing your opponent, you may have to play a couple of games before you get the hang of it, but you'll kind of understand how your players start moving towards your opponent, the way they start acting very aggressive, right? Now, again, I use balance, 45 width, 72 Dept. The second thing I want to talk about is this right here. Build up play, balance is the only way to do it. Do not put fast build and stuff like that. Do not do that, guys. Trust me, I tried everything. At the end of the day, this is the first year where I'm actually going to agree that direct passing, balance and direct passing is the way to go. Right now, the way the game is designed of countering your opponents and having the direct passing, what direct passing does, it actually activates your forwards depending on the formation that you have in, and it presses the back line all the way to their net. So they make these very good runs towards the opponent's crease, right? Which it is a very good tactic to use because it is extremely overpowered to use. So if you're using this formation, I recommend removing 4 runs because I used to like playing with 4 runs, but direct passing this year, from what I'm seeing with this game, it's just the way to go, okay? In the built up on the 4-2-3-1, I have it on 50 width. Again, 3 players in the box. The reason for this is because I noticed a lot of people are not talking about finesse shots or Trivela shots, which again, they're just as overpowered that they were last year, but even better if you actually have the guys that have it, say like the gold playstyle, like Zola, for example. Okay, corners I put it on 3, free kicks I put it on 2. The reason I have it on 3 is because I use this particular corner tactic that basically gives gives my one of my CMs a chance to do a Trivela shot. Okay, so that's the only reason why I have it on 3. When it comes to formation, of course, that's the way it's set up. Instruction, I have a couple instructions which I feel like they're important. One of them is the fact that my striker is on stay central, getting behind, and stay forward. And if you look at my my midfield, I have I have Zola on stay forward, nothing else, but I have both my cams on both my left and right cam on get into the box. I don't have them on come back on defense or anything like that. I want them to actually do what they do, but I want them to get into the box. That's it. Okay. I got both my CDMs on stay back while attacking, cover center, which it's okay because even if you tell them to stay back while attacking, as long as that you do your manual runs with the L1 button, they will eventually make those runs if you need them, right? Same thing goes with the left back and the right back. The only difference that I have that maybe some people don't have is that I have them on stay back while attacking and conservative interception. Now, the reason why I have them on conservative interception, in this particular game, I feel like your fullbacks kind of like get out of position very, very easily when they're getting countered. And putting them on conservative makes them stay in their particular spot better, which they will less commit to certain things that basically counter you, right? So that's the reason for that. Now, the other thing here is I forgot to actually put this, is actually come for cross as a sweeper keeper, which a lot of people are saying it's good. I'm going to test that out. So that's the 4-1-2-1-2. I mean, that's the 4-2-3-1. And the 4-1-2-1-2 is exactly like the guy spoke about, which has 7 players in the box. Now, the reason why I ended up deciding to keep this one with 7 players in the box and the other one with 3 is because when I start the game, I like to have less players committing up front. Since the game is just starting, it's a 0-0 game. There's no point of me like going all out and trying to like get back in the game or try to win the game at the end, whatever the case may be. So I ended up like lowering that to 3. But this one here, I play with 7 because this is my formation that if that first one is not working, I go into the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow and I basically get more players up front, and I got more opportunities to score. Okay, so that one is a little bit more defensive, basic, and this one is more like aggressive attacking. Okay, so it's exactly the same: 50, 72 balance, direct passing, 50. The only difference is that this is on 7, and that's it. Instruction: this is the way they're set up. Instruction: I have both my strikers on stay central, getting behind. I have Zola on stay forward. I got both my CMs on basically balance, except for like cover center on both of them. If I could get to Rabiot, they're both on cover center, but I don't play around with anything else. I got my CDM on stay back while attacking, cover center, and of course I have both my fullbacks on stay back while attacking, conservative, interception, and overlap. Now, the reason why overlap is on this particular formation is because when I'm playing the 4-2-3-1 in the game itself, I will never use the D-pad to put them join the attack. But when I'm using this formation, because this means I'm either losing by a goal or I'm basically just going all out trying to win a game, I need these guys to be on overlap, because the fact is there's going to be moments where even if I'm having a hard time scoring, I am going to basically on the D-pad tell my fullbacks to join the attack. By doing that, it just basically gives me more opportunities to open up the game up front, right? So this is my attacking formation. This is my let's go, let's try to win the game formation. My 4-2-3-1 is let's start the game, let's play conservative, let's make good decisions where I'm passing the ball and everything. But again, on both formations, you could clearly see that the tactics are exactly the same. The only difference is that either one of them has 3 players in the box and the other one has 7. And of course, I'm using the 72 Dept thing that everybody's talking about, which is extremely overpowered, guys. You need to understand that this is just the way to go right now. Unfortunate, when something is extremely overpowered like that, it is important to try to like adapt to it, because if not, you're just basically going to be countering everybody that's basically playing these pressure tactics. And the fact that you could do it without putting constant pressure on and having your team do it without using stamina, it is just a must in your tactics. Now, you could try this with any other formation you're playing with. You could copy the ones I'm playing with, which I felt were working extremely well for me. As you can see, I ended up going 8-2 in the qualifiers. Believe it or not, I could actually went 9-1. I ended up losing a game by 1 goal, which it could have went either way. Maybe I would have won it. I would have been 9-1. Who knows, right? And the other thing that when I was talking about like 3 players in the box, stuff like that, and Zola, is that when you look at play styles, for example, finesse shots, okay? Of course, he also has Travella, but he only has the gold one in finesse shot, right? Now, the amount of goals I've scored with Zola from outside the box just by basically doing finesse shots with either foot. It don't even matter if he have, of course he's right-footed, but it don't even matter if he has a 4-star. He could do the finesse shots even with his left foot. The play style gold, it just basically makes the shot have more power. Okay, I know there's another guy that a lot of people are talking a lot of good things about, and that is Griezmann. He also has it. There's other players that have it, but just to give an example, like if you want to look for a cheaper, or if you want to look for a left-footed player that has it, you go for Griezmann, for example. Griezmann has it. I was actually trying Dybala out, which he only has the regular finesse shot, which is still pretty good. Like, for example, like Martinelli has it, and also Chiesa has it, but they have it as a just a regular one, right? Not the gold version of it, which it's, I don't know, does this one have it? Yes, she has it also. So all my forwards have it, okay? So I like taking these finesse shots. I feel like they worked, and I just feel like they're very, very, very good. So if that's an issue that you guys are having with like scoring goals, try taking shots, finesse shots from outside the box with players that have either the gold one or the regular finesse trait, which I'm telling you, if you get used to it, like if you know the amount of power you have to use when you're trying to do it, let me tell you, it's definitely something that will help you out score a lot more goals. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the tactics. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about them. I'm just saying that from my experience with me struggling to get to Division 5, and then all of a sudden using the 72 Dept thing and all of a sudden I went 8-2 in qualifiers. There's a big difference. I've noticed it big time. My team just works more better by doing that. So hopefully this helps you out, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your qualifiers, and of course, packing something good.